Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be going over Mercury and the houses. And in this episode we're going to be talking about Mercury in the 9th house, okay? Having Mercury in the 9th house, alright? And the first thing is to understand Mercury. And Mercury is a planet of communication, logic, okay? Function systems, okay? This is how our world operates on a logical level. So when you look at all our systems, all our daily routines, how we make connections and patterns of the world, how we learn, how we read, how we write, how we spell, how we drive, how we just operate. All of that is logical mental energy, and this is the territory for Mercury. It is the planet of mental energy, which deals with operations, systems, logic, communication, speaking, all of that. When you put that energy into the 9th house, the 9th house is the house of long distance travel, expansion. Okay, Sagittarius rules this house, so it's like long distance traveling, expansion, philosophy, opening your worlds to different worlds you've never seen before, freedom. Okay, when your Mercury is here, your mind is on freedom. Okay, your mind is on freedom, expansion. And the first thing I can say with Mercury in the 9th house, people, is incredibly smart. Okay, incredibly smart. Mercury already represents the sign of smartness, because this is how we learn, this is how we use logic, okay, this is how we read, write, all those smart stuff. Okay, this is how we use our brain. But when you put it in the 9th house, the house of like expanding, okay, your mind, okay, philosophy, you know, spirituality, okay, seeing the world at a larger picture, the bigger picture, instead of like Mercury focusing on like operations and the details. When you take that Mercury energy and you put all this analytical, detailed energy into the bigger picture of expansion, I mean, great, goodness gracious, you are smart, but you are smart in such an expansive way, because you are analyzing and studying broad information. It's limitless, because this is the house of expansion. So this is like learning lots of things that open your mind to different things. But when you have Mercury in here, you're not just expanding yourself to different philosophies and ideas, but you're also analyzing it, okay? So it's not like you just have a big mind, but you have a big detailed mind. You know the details of all the big ideas that you're opening yourself to, and it just makes you so smart, because 9th house energy alone is just seeing the bigger picture, but Mercury is studying the details of that bigger picture. So when you're putting Mercury here, it's like you're just you know the bigger picture and the details, and that makes someone very smart. Okay, when you can tell someone the bigger pictures but also analyze the details of it, where you can explain people broad ideas in very detailed ways, that makes you so smart. It's like you can never go wrong here, okay? And this is kind of like seeing, because Mercury rules Gemini, okay, and Virgo, but 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. So it's kind of like seeing, you know, the Mercury energy, which again is like details, analytical stuff, like using your mind to get the details, to analyze, to remember, to retain. But then you're taking all that energy, all that mental energy, the analytical smart energy, and you're putting it into these expansive topics and ideologies and philosophies. And you're pretty much being an expert on so many expansive subjects. It's like, it's brilliant. This is a brilliant placement, okay? You're not just a person who just knows a bunch of facts, but you're also spiritual, and you can expand people's minds and tell people facts about things they don't know, things that really expand them and get them to see the bigger world. Okay, because the 9th house is all about expanding our reality, going into territories we haven't seen before, studying the details of another culture. Okay, your mind has no limits here. So Mercury in the 9th house, this is a very brilliant placement. There's a lot of very brilliant people, because they, one, have the discipline and the study of Mercury, because Mercury rules, you know, Virgo, and it's all about the details, analyzing. Gemini, you know, all the details. It has that discipline, that logical discipline, but there are no limits. It has that ability to take all that discipline and logic and expand it everywhere. So it's just brilliant. These people know a lot of amazing things, and they are constantly expanding their minds, okay? You know, they just want information. There's like no limits to their information. Mercury in the 9th house is a great way to say, like, there are no limits to learning. I mean, they constantly want to absorb information. And again, I keep saying this, but it's such a great thing to say. Not only are they getting lots of information and expansive information, but they're learning it to the T. They're really studying it. Mercury is about the details. Okay? Mercury won't expand like a 9th house does. Okay? But it's about learning the details. So when you're learning the details of things that you're expanding to, it's like you got basically both. You got the best of both worlds here. You got the details and you got the bigger picture. And that just makes someone brilliant, because once they give you this larger than life idea that's so out of this world, you don't believe in it, they're going to be able to give you all the facts and analyze it in a logical way, so that they bring that big expansive 9th house ideology down to earth, down to something more logical and communicative to the average person. That's great, you know, that's kind of what you need. You need both of the sides. You need the details and the bigger picture. So brilliant placement. I really love this placement. I think it's for really smart people who love to just keep learning it. And these people have a thirst and a hunger to learn. I mean, 9th house is all about just consuming so much. It's just expanding. So there's no limits. I always think of 9th house as no limits. So when you talk about Mercury, your mind, it's like no limits on the mind. You just keep wanting to learn. You just want to learn. Which is really good. That's what, you know, that's the part of the mind. If you put limits to your mind, it's like you stop the growth. So there's no stopping to this growth. And again, that's why I like this placement, because again, like, we can't think that we know everything. So when you put your mind in a place where there's no limits and it's always going to keep absorbing and learning, then your growth for intelligence never stops growing. So that's perfect. Also, these people love to travel, okay? Mercury is all about short distance traveling. It's because Mercury represents how we operate. So all the little things that we do in our world every day today, traveling, you know? But 9th house deals with long distance traveling. So you put this busy energy Mercury that's doing all this like movement, and then you put it into the house of like long distance traveling. There's just so many like, these people love to travel, and they can do it quickly. Okay, they can do it quickly because Mercury makes things busy. So the long distance traveling, this is like a lot of long distance traveling. It's like, I went here, then I went there, then I went to this country, then I went to that country, then I went to this country, then I went to that country, then I stopped by this country, then I went that, then I went back there. You know, it's just a lot of busy traveling. So, you know, Mercury is going to make this 9th house energy very busy. Also, these people can be, you know, personality wise, I would say Mercury 9th house, and their personalities are great, because 9th house, again, it's such an expansive house, so it's like big energy. And then when you put Mercury here, Mercury is how we communicate, okay? So if we're communicating big energy, okay, so like these people, like the way they talk and the way they speak, it's just very entertaining in a sense, because they're so big and broad with it. They're very philosophical, so what they are saying is always expansive, and it's always said in a way that's just out of this world. You know, it can be extra when it comes to communicating, you know. They can have a little extra sass. It can be really blunt, you know, they can be funny. Big energy when it comes to communication. So not only are they smart, but even the energy of how they communicate is very big, expansive, and has lots of energy to it. So they can be very exaggerated, entertaining talkers as well too. So that is, you know, Mercury in the 9th house, you know. This placement, again, I just think it's a brilliant placement. I think it's very energetic. It's just so smart and intelligent, and inspiring. And I think Mercury just does so well in the 9th house because Mercury is that free-flying planet. And to put it in a house like this where it's like, go run free, like, it's great. And because Mercury is logical, you know, that logic adds structure to this expansion. And God, Mercury in 9th house is a great placement. So if you got Mercury in the if you got Mercury in the 9th house, really good for you. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Okay, even just speaking about Mercury in the 9th house, you know, the way I'm communicating this energy is very Mercury in the 9th house, just expansive and fun and free. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that and come back for some more. And if you did, book a reading with me. I do astro readings as well as birth chart readings with tarot. You just got to email me and we can go forward with that. Also, check out my music, okay, on Spotify, YouTube, and here on Apple as well too. Okay, I have all the links in my description box below, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.
Remember when they all used to test you? Remember when it all didn't impress you? So felt lost, never left you. I'm just beginning. Went off all alone just to let loose. Laid off on the grind.